YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So, today's build, man, I feel like I built this build like weeks ago. I did build this weeks ago. And it's just been kind of sitting in my video library just waiting on me to voice over it, but I've been kind of putting it off because I don't know how this happened, but this build turned into like a 30-minute build. And that's a speed, you know, after I sped it up, it turned into 30 minutes, and I'm just, man, I was amazed. I was not expecting this to take a 30-minute, speed build. I don't even know what I'm going to talk to you guys about during this time. Oh, that's not true. I got stuff planned to talk about, but this is kind of my trailer park build for Oasis Springs. This lot was where Johnny Zest's trailer was, and I kind of took it and I'm putting my own little trailer lot on it. I thought the lot was entirely too big to just have one trailer on it. On it, I put two on it, but honestly, you could very easily get, 3, 4 trailers on here if you wanted to make them, kind of smaller, not so nice type trailers. I did two. The one that I'm working on right now, this bigger one, is a 2-bedroom trailer. And I kind of thought it would be like a single mom's house. That's kind of what I decorated it for. There's a bunch of kids stuff. There's a kids room. The mom has a single bed. She doesn't have a double bed because I kind of envision maybe she's not interested in having any relationships with anyone after whatever happened with her ex. I don't know. And I also figured they would have a dog, stuff like that. Just, normal little life stuff, I suppose. But yeah, this is the building of that. Yeah, gosh, April is next month, and I'm really considering doing a fundraiser for Autism Speaks. If you're not familiar with Autism Speaks, they provide a bunch of resources and things of that nature to people who have autism to help them do different things in life. And it's a little important to me to do it. My middle child, so my God, she's 5 now. I can't believe she's 5 already. But my 5-year-old recently this month was officially, quote unquote, diagnosed with autism. It's kind of one of those, we knew for a little while she probably was autistic, but it was, officially got her diagnosis a week or two ago, which thankfully there's some resources we can use and stuff like that to help her. I think overall she'll still have a relatively normal life, but it's just one of those things that it affects one out of every 54 kids. Has some form of autism, and it never really occurs to you until it's your kid with it, I guess. But yeah, so with that on my mind and everything, I kind of want to do a fundraiser for Autism Speaks, and I haven't completely decided what yet. I'm leaning towards a 100 baby challenge. I have not set that in stone yet, but that's kind of where in my mind, I'm going with it. 100 baby challenge. I haven't done a 100 baby challenge yet, so I think that would be kind of fun. But we'll see. It'll also kind of depend on what the future brings and if we get any new things between now and then. But that's kind of where my mind is right now on that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you would like to see. If there's any specific Let's Plays you would like to see for an Autism Speaks awareness. I'm hoping in my fundraiser, I'm hoping we can raise $154. $154 coming from the one in 54 kids. So 154, and I feel like that's kind of an obtainable amount. I don't think that would be too crazy if everyone was able to pitch in. But yeah, back to this build, I'm working on the kitchen right now. I think I'm about to finish up the kitchen, but as I said, a single mom, kind of tried to make it look very kid friendly house. There's the kids chairs and stuff like that in here. There was some of the craft boxes a second ago on the side of the kitchen. Here in a minute I'm gonna end up, oh, I already did, there's the kids stuff under the TV. So very much a mommy inspired build. Working on the bathroom now. I actually really like how this bathroom came out, but looking at it now, I'm kind of realizing that all of my bathrooms end up looking the same. I've got the sink, the washer, a lot of times the dryer, but in this case I didn't put a dryer in it because I put a drying rack outside. The toilet, the shower. I'm realizing I may need to, change my kitchen, my bathrooms up a little bit. They're all starting to look the same, and that's not good. The wallpaper on the walls, I did try to, I went with that style that you see in a lot of trailers. I don't really know what to call that style, but if you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then right now I'm working on the kids' room. I imagined a boy and a girl here. Sharing a room and stuff like that, because again, single mom. I did put the night lights that keep the monsters under the bed away, because I'm sorry, that is the most annoying feature that has come out with The Sims 4. I hate those little monsters under the bed. They are so annoying. If it was a once in every once in a while type thing, okay, fine, I could understand that. But it's like those monsters come out all the time. So definitely put those night lights there. I did give the kids a computer in their room just because I kind of feel like, okay, real world, modern day, most kids are going to need a computer. Maybe not the best computer of all time, though, so that's why it's, kind of the cheaper one. Putting up a bunch of posters and stuff around the kids' beds. I wanted to try to give each kid's bed kind of a feel as to what they liked, that they were two very different kids sharing the room, still brother and sister, but two very different kids. Working on the mom's room now. Now, the mom's room was pretty small. Like I said, she only has a single bed, but I kind of feel for her that works out. I kind of imagine this being someone who's not wanting to jump into a relationship and would therefore maybe have no need for a double bed, if you catch my drift. And a bunch of clutter in her room. I really like how her room came out. I feel like all the adults' rooms end up getting the double beds, which makes sense. But, you can be an adult with a single bed, especially if, you're a single adult. I added 2 birth certificates up in her room. She keeps the birth certificates from her kids framed and hung up on her wall, and I thought that was the cutest little touch. But yes, I love how her bedroom came out, because it's a different type of adult bedroom. It's not, you can look at it and tell it's not a young adult, it's not a kid, it's very much an adult grown woman. But she's just kind of on her own, and I kind of like that. Moving on to the second trailer. Now, the second trailer, I kind of pictured a grandmother type lady living here, at least an elder lady. Maybe not a grandmother. I don't necessarily know if she has kids or not, but definitely an elder lady who has a very strong obsession with the colors pink and yellow. That's kind of where her trailer goes into. I find myself coming back to the color yellow when it comes to elders or elderly builds for The Sims 4. And I think that's just because I think I associate yellow with my grandmother, and it's funny, the only reason I associate the color yellow with my grandmother is because she liked Tweety Bird. And she always had Tweety Bird stuff and stuff like that. And I don't even think it was that she liked the color yellow. She just liked Tweety Bird, who happened to be yellow. But that's just, I guess, what stuck with my mind is yellow. So all of my my builds that I find myself, you know, centering around elders, they get yellow. So finishing up the outside of her trailer, obviously maybe a little bit more decorated. Maybe a little bit more with a theme. I found that pink kind of trailery wallpaper, and I thought it was very, very cute. And then added in the yellow. A pink kitchen. I can't think of anything that's more classic. Any more classic grandmother than a pink kitchen. Pink kitchen with yellow, I guess I should say. Obviously I try to break it up a little bit. Um, but yeah, and you know, I like how her kitchen ended up coming out too. I think it came out a little, I don't want to say different because that makes it sound bad, but it came out different in a good way. It's a it's a kitchen that you maybe don't always see. And like I said, I tried to go with the yellow. I put a bunch of different yellow stuff in there. I even added fake curtains and a picture above the sink because there wasn't a window in the sink above her in her trailer, above the sink in her trailer, and I could kind of see someone sticking a picture up there or something like that to go with that. But yes, very grandmothery feel on this build here. Oh, man, there's the old coffee pots hanging the little vent over the stove. It took me so long. I'm embarrassed by how long it took me to figure out how to hang those with the cabinets over the stove. It never occurred to me to use them with the cabinets, so I'd always just try to stick them over the stove. And of course, just sticking them over the stove, it looked terrible. um, but but anyway, that's what I would try to do, and of course, it didn't work. It looked horrible. And then I saw someone do it with a cabinet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I have not have thought of that? I liked that little pink suitcase looking. I don't really know what else to call it. Suitcase looking TV stand. I thought that was a really, really neat thing. Um, it took me a little while to figure out how I wanted the placement of the living room situated. And I think it comes out being a little bit of a different placement, but I kind of like it. I feel it's very, uh, I feel this house is kind of an eclectic style. And I kind of feel like that's how my grandmother was. She was maybe a little eclectic. Um, liked to have a bunch of different things, and maybe they didn't always go together in the best way. So yeah, that's definitely the vibe I feel here. It just takes me a little while to figure out how I want everything situated. I end up deciding to go. I think I picked that yellow TV stand right there, and put some rugs down to throw in the pink, but it was just a very this was a very difficult decision because I couldn't quite get the TV aligned with the couch evenly, and that was just throwing me off. And uh, it was hard to figure this out, but I like how it ended up turning out. Another thing is I use a bunch of nifty knitting decoration stuff here. I kind of feel like I've been getting a little out of hand with nifty knitting lately. I've been using it a lot in my builds, but I like the items it comes with. It comes with some really, really neat items, and there's so much fun stuff you can do with it. Right now I'm just decorating the living room, adding a bunch of decor, little knitted stuffies, knitted flowers on the wall, the sewn, what do you call it? Embroidery. Yeah, the embroidery circles everywhere. Butterflies, just a bunch of different things. I put a ton of rugs in here. I feel this is I feel this would be a very, like I said, I kind of feel like this would be like something my grandmother would live in, except minus the pink. I don't think my grandmother would go for quite this much pink, but definitely the yellow. Very eclectic, very colorful and happy. Like you can just kind of tell this is a a happy older woman home. And I think that's kind of what I was going for. It took me a little while to get there though. I do like how I have that half wall meeting up with the counter. I and then with the couch on the other side of that, I think that's kind of it's a little bit different. I don't think that I've ever seen a build with it like that, where it's divided off like quite like that. So, and I kind of like different things. I don't like things being looking too much normal. I want things to be a little questionable sometimes with my builds. Going into the bathroom, classic tile all over the wall, classic tile on the floor, an older yellow bathtub, just kind of classic older bathroom with the exception of washer and dryers. um, you know, One thing I don't know about The Sims 4, it's kind of hard to build in laundry rooms. Like, I know there are places in the world that have their washer and dryers in the bathroom and this and that, and I know it's kind of a normal thing, but for where I live, it's very unusual to see that. You don't typically see the washer and dryer in the bathroom. You typically see them either out in the garage or in their own separate utility room. And just with the design, the floor plans and designing, I mean, of course, you could always design in a laundry room, but I just feel it's kind of hard to find that, to be able to design that in. Working on grandmother's room now, I put an urn on one side of the bed, thinking that could have been her spouse. Um, and I know that's a little sad, but at the same time, I kind of thought, keeping an urn of ashes, of her of her passed away spouse, beside the bed where she used to sleep. I don't know. It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of romantic in a weird, creepy, romantic way, I guess. I guess that's kind of odd way to put it, but that's kind of where my mind went with it. Just adding more decorations to her room. I end up putting a picture on the wall. I believe I put it over that little dresser that I put in her room. And it's one of those black and white pictures of a boy. And I kind of thought that maybe that might be a picture of her father when he was young. Just because it's a not named person or sim. And I don't know. I don't know why I had that thought in my mind for that picture. But that's where my mind went. All right, I believe I finished her home now. I'm starting on the outdoor area for the little trailer park that they live on, and let me tell you, I struggled. Okay, I struggled coming up here soon. You're gonna see just how bad I struggled, and it's pretty bad. I could not figure out what I wanted to put in this middle space right here. I wanted there to be something like a recreation area or a park area, something for everyone to kind of come together. Um, but it took me forever to figure out what I wanted. I tried picnic tables, I tried playground equipment. I believe I tried gnomes. I did stick that little sand snowman out there though in front of the kids' house. I felt like that was something the kids would probably end up building. I thought maybe this could be made into a garden. I was having the hardest time trying to figure out what I wanted to put here. And I honestly thought about editing this part out. It probably would have made my video a little shorter. But I decided to leave it in because sometimes I feel the videos we see they're all so perfect, and then when you start building, you're like, well, okay, they got it in one go. Why can't I? And I just kind of wanted to show that it's not quite like that. I don't think anybody gets it all in one go every time. I think, we struggle a lot more than we let be shown. Magic editing buttons kind of hop in there sometimes. So I kind of wanted to leave it in. I wanted it to show that, it's okay to struggle in your buildings. It's okay. It's fine. You get there in the end. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I've gone into the debug menu at this point, and I'm just kind of throwing random stuff out there. I'm trying to get some kind of general inspiration of what I want for this middle area, and it ends up working out because I'm able to find a bunch of fun debug plants to put kind of behind the trailers and stuff like that. I found that little flamingo to put in front of grandmother's house, and it ends up working out because I decided to put a fishing pond out there, and I thought that was a really cute touch for the fishing pond. So it ended up working out, and it's fine if you don't know exactly where something is trying to go in any one particular moment, as long as you figure it out in the end. Looking back at my screenshots, I'm not too sure why my siding was gone underneath those flowers. That's interesting. I love this room. I love how this came out with the yellow and the pink, and it just has a very grandmothery feel, a different grandmothery feel. I did play test this with the stove and those curtains hanging over it. I could not get the curtains to catch on fire, so I think we're good there. That was something I was a little curious about, is if it was going to become a fire hazard or not. But I think we're okay there. You know, something else I noticed about building in Oasis Springs is my trailers are white, and in these screenshots they're white because I believe this was either sunrise or sunset. I can't remember which this was when I took these pictures, but in normal daylight your whites look yellow, and I guess that's from the light reflecting off the sand. And I don't know, I never noticed that before, but now it bugs me. It really bugs me knowing that. This living room, I feel, is 100% a lady with kids. Okay, coming as a mom who has 3 kids, I can tell you that's perfect. That is an accurate representation. I love the mom's room. I really, really do. Like I said, I feel like it conveys the message of grown adult woman, but without the double bed. So kind of a, you know, I don't need a partner in my life kind of vibe or feel to it. I also like the kids' room, again, with it being messy and the posters and everything everywhere. I even gave them a little fish bowl because I put the fishing pond out front. I figured maybe they could go catch a fish and keep it as a pet. But that is it for this build. You can find this build on the gallery. I uploaded it a little while ago, so it's definitely there. But if you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help us out. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.